Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great match on Watchpoint Alpha. Your casters today are me, Bantoinette, and I have TofuOfHell with me.
How's it going?
This match between Apex Legends and the Ramen Renegade. Now, both of these teams are new to the server. I believe neither of them have competed in any of our tournament matches before, so this is going to be a really exciting match to watch. I am familiar with how Apex Legends plays, but I've not seen Ramen Renegade yet, so this is really exciting. Super exciting to see these teams make their debut. All right, so Tofu, what are some things that you're really excited to see in this match?
Well, Vader and Letters used to be former teammates of mine, so I know how they play, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they will perform in their new team. As far as the Ramen Renegade, they have Carpe, so I'm a little scared for Apex Legends.
Yeah, y'all can't see the lobby screen here, but all of Ramen Renegade have the Philadelphia Fusion logos for their team right now, so we definitely have the real Carpe with us. I can see in the chat we have input name saying, yay, good casting crew. Super excited. We are definitely the best casters.
I know.
So yeah, and Letters and Vader were both on the Junkertown Jewels with you. So what are some things about their playstyle that are going to make them difficult to defeat in this match?
Well, Letters and Vader, they both were DPS players for the previous team that I was on with them, and they both are really good hit scan players. Vader actually recently won the Watchpoint Alpha with a 1v1 tournament. But they're pretty flexible. So Letters can play the Sombra, Genji. Vader can play Brig, Zarya, Doomfist. So they bring a lot to the table for Apex Legends.
Yeah, and the rest of the team is really incredible as well. I know that you and I are both on the same team and we have played against them before. They can be terrifying sometimes. Ramen Renegade, I have never seen them play. All I can see is sort of them on paper in our rosters. They do generally have some pretty high SR players. They are one of our higher SR teams in the league. So I think we are going to see a lot of great gameplay today. So the map pool today, we have Hanamura, Eichenwald, Busan. What was the last map? What was our escort map?
Route 66 and our tiebreaker map.
Thank you. I'm obviously a little out of it, yes. So Oasis is our tiebreaker map today. So these are very goats heavy maps. But as we saw yesterday, unfortunately for us on the anomalies, this was not necessarily the case. We do not always see goats on these goats heavy maps. Do you think that we're going to see a lot of goats today, or do you think that these teams are going to end up switching it up?
I can see goats being played fairly often on these maps, but there is potential for maybe a quad DPS or maybe even a 222, especially on Route 66 escort maps. So I think there's going to be a pretty good variety going on here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Super excited to see how these teams play and how they're going to do later on in the tournament. So if Apex Legends or Ramen Renegade, whichever one loses today, is not out of the tournament. This is a double elimination tournament, so they still will get a chance to continue on as long as they continue to win and don't lose a second time. They can make it all the way to the finals.
Well, they're going to be facing us in the next round.
That's
so
true.
Here's a challenge, a public challenge here.
A public
be ready.
Challenge for the anomalies. We're definitely not a trash can of a team at all. We're good when we want to be. We were trying to psych everybody out, you know. We're trying to give them a false sense of hope. But we're going to come in and win the whole thing for sure. Tantaku, I see you in that chat right there calling us bronze. I do not appreciate this. We are at least silver.
I think we're paperweight.
Paperweight, yes, that's it. That's the way to put it. So right now we are waiting on one of our teams to finish up with getting one of their players in here. Right now we are keeping the timer going just in case. But it is 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, so we'll hopefully be starting soon. We are not 375 as are there, Tantaku. Stop talking about us on the Watchpoint Alpha account. Thank you, Input, for calling us blessed. Our Twitch chat is toxic. You know, we're boosted in the game, we're also boosted in casting. That's just how it works.
You know, I don't think I deserve plat. You know, I should be top 500, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, you totally didn't get boosted there or anything. It's okay. This is what happens when you have a development league and we're all trash anyway, so trash casters too.
You know, if all you watched my stream that one day, we were playing Sideshow with like Mr. X, Uber, and all, and we dogged on them hard.
Yes, oh my gosh, that was you know, you can look at Sideshow stream and see this. There is a moment where Tofu does kill Sideshow in a very violent fashion. He did get my name reference. He called me Marie Bantoinette, which is my actual legal full name. So that just made my life. I've never had an amazing thing like that happen to me before. All right, so we have all of our players here. We are going to be ready to go shortly into Hanamura. Super excited to see this. All right, and it looks like we are starting now. All right, on to Hanamura 2CP. Either your favorite map or the bane of your existence. There is no in between. All right, so you're gonna have 30 seconds to assemble their heroes here. I'm hoping we see some interesting comps here. As much as I have grown to love playing goats, it is pretty fun. It isn't always the most fun to watch unless it's like super hardcore, like just going in and pressing W goats. So we may end up seeing something interesting here. I know that yesterday Team Disconnect ran an Ashe and a Mei, which were definitely giving us some problems. It looks like on the side of Apex Legends, we are going to get a pseudo goats comp. No Brig, but we're gonna have the Baptiste, the Moira, and the Lucio with goats tanks. Interesting choice. It looks like we have Udon and the Symmetra, and I'm just gonna say, play Sim, you coward.
I sure hope they do play that Sim. Because getting past that goat's front line is going to be pretty tough, so being able to just get to the point may be the key.
It looks like we are going to have... Interesting, alright, it looks like we're going to have a 2-2-2 comp on the side of Ramen Renegade with the Sim. They are playing Sim, they are no coward.
They're also playing Mei.
They are playing Mei. It's Mei Fun on the Mei. Wrecking Ball comes in, gets a big slam. Looks like Apex Legends is cutting back a little bit to deal with him. Alright, so Ramen Renegade has charged right in. They use the Sim Teleporter to help them in. But Apex Legends is ready for them, already getting 2 picks and taking both tanks out of the game. That Immortality Field keeping them up. They are going to finish off Udon on the Sim. The rest of the team is just going to have to get out of there. They are going to have to reset.
So if you notice there, the Ramen Renegades tried to use the Sim TP to go straight to point, but Yikes made a really good pin on to the Mei, and that really swung that over for them.
Yeah, that was a really clutch pin there, especially since that Mei can cause a lot of problems. If you get the chance to kill her without having to have your entire team focusing her for her to ice block and wall herself off, getting that chance to kill her can really help your team out. Looks like they're not going to make any swaps here. Tamago getting low here.
Keep in mind, Apex Legends does have the ult advantage here, so be ready for a lot of Qs coming out.
Yeah, there's the Q right there now with the Baptiste ult and the Immortality Field to keep them up as they aim into that room where Ramen Renegade is. Looks like Ramen Renegade is kiting all the way to the top to try to keep the sight lines away from them. I think that this is a good move. Looks like they're taking the high ground here. They are going to have a little bit of an advantage here, especially since they do have range. But Momo on the Moira can easily just start to mess them up a little bit, especially since they don't have that diva, so there's no way to eat any damage balls that get thrown in there. Ramen Renegade's gonna have to touch soon though. It looks like they're just sitting there kind of poking at Apex Legends. The grab comes out for Apex Legends. Style Barrier comes out, and so does the Immortality Field, keeping Apex Legends alive, but they are going to be shattered, and it is just going to snowball from there. Peachy's gonna be thrown out of net and killed. Vader going down, and Momo. Team kill. They are going to be able to cap this point here. Apex Legends is going to have to get ready to hold at point B.
Ramen Renegade played that very methodically. They were really patient in poking for ult, and they engaged right when they caught up in ult economy. So just going in with full ults, they were able to cap it, especially since Apex didn't have that defensive ult.
Rally's gonna come out for Ramen Renegade here. Immortality Field coming out for Apex Legends, keeping them alive. But it looks like that is not going to be enough here. Yikes, 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 whatever it is, it's gonna go down. And Vader and Letters are gonna be taken out as well with a huge charge and some help from Ramen. Main fun on the Zarya is going to take out Momo.
And it seems like it'll be a point to cap.
Yeah, big snowball, but Vader's gonna come out on the Doomfist. Mei ult comes out, going to stall them out, make it harder for them to come here and contest the point, but that goes down. Peachy gets on point.
I don't know if you're seeing this, but Yikes is just hanging around.
I didn't notice that! That's fantastic. Point from there. And he is going to get killed, unfortunately. It took them a while to find that. Looks like Letters on the Mei is going to ice block here, trying to keep himself alive. He's going to freeze Travago. But that's not gonna be enough. He goes down. Peachy goes down as well. Momo with the coalescence, but taken out with that focus. Yikes, getting back on point. He's just gonna keep contesting here. It's a very long stall at this point. No deaths have come through for Ramen Renegade. They're gonna take out Vader. So Ramen Renegade is very likely going to win this, unless some major hero plays come out, but this stall is huge. Ramen's gonna be taken out by Letters. This could potentially stop their snowball here. But it's not gonna be enough. Round 1 is complete.
I think Ramen Renegade played that really well. Going in with the goats and being able to take the high ground with the way they staggered the ults from first point, they were able to snowball pretty quickly. And once they were on the point, it was just a matter of time for them to cap. But Apex Legends did a really good job staggering their spawns to burn, what was it, almost 2 minutes off the clock?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they prevented the snowball really well, and I appreciated the patience coming from both sides. Ramen Renegade on the attack stayed on the high ground for pretty much as long as they could to set themselves up for a really, really good push, which paid off in the end. They team killed within just a few seconds. And then with the point B take, even though Apex Legends was probably well aware of the fact that this would not necessarily be winnable once a lot of them got picked off, they did a really good job patiently stalling, and you notice that they didn't all just run on the point at once, which I think a lot of people tend to do because they want to just get in there and help. But the sort of one at a time stalling made it go on for a really, really long time here. So there are going to be about 3 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock for Ramen Renegade to complete their push, should this go into a 2-2. But in order for that to happen, Apex Legends is going to have to come in and cap both points.
Interesting lineup for the Ramen Renegades. They're running a double main, double shield tank with a Bastion and Mei. So I'm not sure where the Mei really plays in this comp, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and what's interesting about the main too is you would think that they would hold up a little bit further to potentially wall some people off and allow the Bastion to kill them, but they are playing right next to the Bastion. So I wonder if they're almost considering the Mei wall to be another shield here. Sort of a way to keep the Bastion from dying. And you'll notice that yikes, I'm not sure exactly which one is right. I'm not sure if they're memeing when they tell us to pronounce it as yikes, but you know what, I'm just gonna do it. He is up on the high ground right now. He's in the back. Letters is over on the right side of the point, and he gets a really big pick on that Orisa, but it is rezzed back up. Peachy's gonna be taken down, and so is Yikes. The Immortality Field is going to be killed by Letters, but unfortunately no real damage is coming out here onto Ramen Renegade. Nothing has really disrupted the bunker yet.
Well, it seems like they're only tanking a single sightline outside of Letters, so it's going to be hard to break through the double main shields. Especially with the cooldown Orisa has. Her shield can be almost infinite.
Yeah, especially with the extra shields. You'll notice that as soon as that shield went down, Carpe went to go shield the Bastion. Oh, but that dragon, without the Immortality Field, could have been huge, but the Baptiste saved their entire team with that Immortality Field from the dragon. Unfortunately, not going to be a very sort of prolific ultimate usage here. Letters is going to be taken out by Udon on the Mei. Apex Legends is, I think, sort of struggling here to figure out how to deal with this, because it really is difficult to get a good sightline on them. They're holding up with a lot of cover by the point. The Pharah, unfortunately, is not able to get a lot of value with the angle that they're taking right now.
Agreed. And I think it's against this comp, you might be better off running maybe a Reinhardt Diva, or just Goats in general, right? Move over to the right side, take those sightlines, and then just run straight into them.
Yeah, and you'll notice that Letters did swap onto the Sombra, which could potentially be huge here, because not only can those hacks really disrupt some of those shield tanks, but a well-placed EMP can take out Immortality Field and all of the shields, making it super easy to kill the Bastion. It looks like Valk is going to come out, even though there wasn't really a real push here by Apex Legends, so they can just play this patiently and wait the Valk out. It looks like the Undying is going to pop their Valk, sort of help keep their team alive, but nobody's really grouped up right now. They're taking a lot of sightlines here, which I appreciate. Vader is going to take out the Baptiste. This is a huge pick. Peachy's going to be rezzed by the Undying, and Vader's going to take out that Orisa. Tactical Visor comes out, takes out the Bastion. At this point, it's just to see how Ramen Renegade can stall, especially with that Mercy going down. Peachy takes out Udon. Not until Udon gets revenge and takes out Vader from beyond the grave. They are going to be able to cap with about 45 seconds left. So they are going to come in with a little bit less of a time bank advantage than Ramen Renegade had. They're going to have 4 minutes to cap. They're going to have 1 minute to get this with an even time bank. Looks like they're going to switch to the Sim here instead of the Mei.
Take a look at the Ramen and the way they're setting up the Bastion on the top right high ground with Sim. This could be really strong.
Shields too. If you look, the Orisa shield is going to sort of keep a good barrier around the Bastion, but that Ryan shield can sort of take any corners that the Orisa shield can't reach. So there really aren't going to be that many sight lines that Apex Legends can take to deal with this bunker. It looks like they're going to take Momo out already. Momo will be rezzed by the Undying, but Yike is going down. Letters as well. Peachy is going to get 2 big picks. The Mercy and Sim getting out is a huge deal. Bastion ult coming out, but he is keeping on the high ground here, which I think is a really good pick. Momo was shooting the Coalescence Beam at Carpe and is going to be taken down by that Bastion ult. Yike's coming in, but he is going to retreat as he realizes that this is a lost fight. And they're just going to reset, keeping the same composition and positioning that they were keeping at the beginning. It's a really interesting bunker pops coming out from Ramen Renegade. I cannot do words today. But what's really interesting about this too is that this is one of the harder bunker comps I've ever seen to disrupt. Especially with that Immortality Field. If that Baptiste stays alive, it's going to be really hard to use something like a Coalescence or a Dragon in order to take this out. And it looks like the Junkrat ult is going to come out. It's going to explode but not get any value. The Immortality Field was up and unfortunately it exploded under them, unable to get any real damage out or disrupt the shield. Now Immortality Field is down now though, so this would be the time. It looks like they're going to throw mines up there. Very good work. But unfortunately also it does not get value, and that Baptiste ult is going to make this very dangerous. Yike and Momo going out immediately by that Bastion. Vader is going to follow close behind. This is going to be a lost push for Apex Legends.
I'd like to see some more swaps coming out from Apex Legends. You do want to try to disrupt the high ground up there and try to push them off, force them off that high ground in a way that they can't really use the cover from the angles, from the walls.
It looks like they did swap to a, they did have a 3-2-1, but now they're running quad DPS with 2 heals, no tanks. Interesting choice. Letters does have his dragons here, and he is going to shoot it. Immortality Field does come out, so unfortunately it doesn't get any value, but the Immortality Field does go down, so this is their chance to push. Valk is going to come out for the Undying. Harasami goes down, but is going to be rezzed. That Symmetra ult, keeping Mercy alive to be able to rezz that Bastion. The Undying is going to go down. Letters soon to follow. This is going to be another lost push for Apex Legends here. The Pharah pick is really interesting here. I think that this could either work or be easily disrupted by the Bastion. But it does allow them to sort of take that back angle, because you'll notice that the Orisa shield is placed to cover where Apex Legends is coming in. But there's no space behind them. Now Symmetra is going to cover behind them with a turret. I think that Udon is aware of this. So Vader, or sorry, not Vader, Yikes will at least alert them to the fact that there's somebody coming behind. The Mei wall is going to come out to prevent them from shooting at them. Unfortunately, Letters is going to go down to those Symmetra turrets. Another Bastion ult by Harusame, able to take out Momo. And yeah, Dying is going to go down as well. Like
Apex Legends is... Apex is having a really tough time adjusting and trying to figure out how to break this bunker comp. But they're kind of stuck on trying to play the DPS comps, where maybe that isn't the best idea.
Yeah, another Immortality field comes out. Those dragons are not really going to get any value, although the Bastion does go down, and so does Carpe. This is Apex Legends' chance. Ramen is going to res Harusame on the Bastion, but the Mei ult does come down and takes out Tamago the Orisa. And it looks like they are going to cap.
Well, I guess they proved me wrong.
A bit of a C9 there too. So it is debatable whether or not they would have stalled without that C9 or not, because there is a lot of damage coming out. But there is going to be another round, 2 CP. But with the very obvious time bank advantage from Ramen Renegade, so Apex Legends is really going to have to overcome a huge disadvantage. Not only because Ramen Renegade's definitely going to run the bunker comp again, but also because, you know, they have 3 minutes and Apex Legends is going to have to cap this almost immediately.
Well, no, I guess for reference, Apex Legends doesn't have any time because they capped in overtime, whereas Ramen did. So for Apex, it's either a draw or a loss, and hopefully they can pull out a draw. But it seems to be pretty tough hold. Mm-hmm. But they are running a bunker comp, so let's see how. Let's see them bunker down and get that draw.
Oh god, that was awful, Tofu. Let's see if Ramen Renegade can deal with bunker as well as they do it. They did have a really interesting take on bunker that I haven't really seen before. Vader's apologizing for some bad manners. I think he might have teabagged. Honestly, I don't blame him. Alright, so Ramen Renegade is just coming up. But Ramen is taken out almost immediately by Yikes. So they are going to have to wait for their Zen to come back. It looks like our chat is getting a little mad. Apex, don't spam into double shield. Please just go dive. I would honestly agree with that. You did not see them run anything like a diva, which could have helped them a lot with sort of matrixing the Bastion and giving them the chance to get in. It looks like Vader's teabagging over there. Does some tactical crouching, not wanting to get headshot by a Widow.
You know, just doing
squats.
Gonna
use the wall to help them get in. Immortality field does come out by Letters, keeping the team alive, but not for long. Momo, Vader, and Letters, and Yikes all going out. Peachy's gonna go out as well. Very quick take for Ramen Renegade, and they are going to take Hanamura. Victory. Alright, so that was a very interesting match here. I'm sure the play of the game is probably the Bastion. Yep, as expected.
I mean, there were a lot of, you know, tank mode kills through the Baptiste.
Yep, through the Baptiste certainly makes it even worse. Killing the ulting Moira. Sort of saving the day there.
And that's the thing with Bastion's tank mode. If you're running a ton of squishies, that's one shot. So it's easier to clean up, especially if you're just hiding behind a shield.
Yeah, and that was a very clean attack there that we had as well. Just sort of being patient, waiting for their Zen to get back, and then just going and rolling. I liked how they had the Mei wall there as well. to make it so the Ramen Renegade could just go in undisturbed by their bunker. Sort of gives them a place to sort of flank on both sides of the shield and get in and press W into their team. Kept them safe there. Really well done by Ramen Renegade. All right, so we have swapped the team sides. And we are going to Eichenwald now. So another map that has potential for goats and also sometimes potential for bunker as well. What do you think we're going to see here?
I think first point defense, it's probably going to be a bunker. I can see the attacking team trying to go goats, usually just rotating to the left side, trying to play those sight lines. But on the street phase, going to second point, that could be very interesting because there's so much high ground. You may see a Widowmaker come out, Pharah, Genji, or Dive. So I want to look forward to those adjustments on that second point, and then going into the third point. It's very tight corridor, so maybe goats is also the play there. So hopefully we'll see some quick adjustments from both sides.
Yes, I agree. And the adjustments are kind of one of those things that's really hard for teams to do, especially, a lot of these teams are newer teams. And this is a development league, so our teams are often, plat and diamond players. And there can be a difficulty with swaps and sort of deciding the value of things like ultimates. Like if you're close to an ultimate, is it worth swapping or is it worth using that ultimate and then swapping? And just having the confidence to make those tough calls. I know that that's something that we struggle with a lot. And I think that this is just something in general that teams generally need to practice, is just figuring out when something isn't working and not being afraid to try some new things.
Well, it looks like both teams are ready to go. So
all right,
let's get it in.
Please don't say that.
I didn't mean it that way.
All right, it looks like we do have some people in chat screaming for goats. Also, you're getting called out by Watchpoint Alpha.
Well, that's to the people who think bad thoughts. It was completely clean.
All right, and we are going to have a pause already. It looks like there is a DC. I don't know from who yet. All right. We'll find out if they're okay. I feel like this always happens. I don't know if it's Blizzard or if it's what's going on.
I don't know.
We can probably just go with this pause, just take it away. Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, Jeff Kaplan.
I look forward to the next developer update.
It just creates more, I don't know, more immersion or something. All right, we are unpausing. We are back in action. They still have about 15 seconds to assemble their heroes here. It looks like our chat is calling for goats. But Vader's in our chat right now.
Wonder what he's doing there.
Go focus on the game. All right, so it looks like we are going to get these Sombra goats for Apex Legends here. Playing the Sombra instead of the Brig. Interesting choice. We are going to have the Brig on the side of Ramen Renegade, however. They are running straight up goats with a Mei instead of the Diva. So interesting compositional choices here. Just purely from their compositional standpoint, who do you think is probably going to have the advantage here?
I do think that Ramen Renegade's going to have that advantage. The Brig gives so much healing when playing in those mid fights, and her CC ability really hurts the tank lineup for Apex Legends.
Definitely, especially when you have that Rhine. Very easy to stun the Rhine and just sort of go in. Looks like Letters is going to swap to the Brig. Probably just use the Sombra for scouting purposes. Yikes is going to hit a Fire Strike, already about a quarter of the way to his Shatter. Right now they're just sort of poking at each other, waiting for an opportunity to go in. Made Fun is going to take out Letters with the May. The Undying goes down as well. They are going to have to back out here. Oh, and Momo is going to be staggered by Carpe. They are just still pressing W right into spawn. Peachy's taken out of mech and is going to be left. She is just going to go in and swap back to get her mech back immediately. And they're going to have to re-engage here.
It looks like Apex Legends is going back to the traditional Zen goats, with Letters switching from the Sombra back to the Brig.
Yes, and it looks like Vader is going to be the first one coming up on grab as well, but there is a Shatter on the side of Ramen Renegade. So, potentially even ult fight here. Looks like the grab is probably going to help them win this fight here if they're able to follow up on it. Shatter comes out, and so does the grab, and so does the May ult. But it looks like that Apex Legends is just going to absolutely roll over Ramen Renegade here. Use that ult advantage with the grab. Really good follow-up. Team kill, and they're going to be able to cap the first point and start pushing the payload.
That was an interesting hold by Ramen Renegade. But it looks like they're going to take a really early fight, trying to prevent any snowball before the door opens.
Yeah, which is an interesting place to fight, especially now that the door is opening. It's giving Momo some interesting sight lines. Reggie's going to come with Fire Strike, not going to hit anybody. Looks like we have both support ults on the side of Apex Legends. Both support ult on the side of Ramen Renegade as well. Apex Legends is gonna have a grab and bomb combo soon. Peachy is going to eat the sound barrier? What is that? I don't know what's going on, but all I know right now is that people on the side of Apex Legends are getting taken out. They are going to have to reset here, especially now that Vader is taken out. Get that main damage out of the picture. Peachy is going to be staggered very hard here. Oh, this is just so painful to watch. It's always so hard to watch that, and honestly, I won't lie, one of my favorite things is staggering divas, and I know that it's really toxic.
Well, I mean, you do play the diva for our team sometimes, so yes. I'm sure you've seen the best of both sides.
I need to get my revenge out for being staggered so hard sometimes. Looks like we are going to have the grab bomb combo here for Apex Legends, so theoretically they should be able to win this fight. They do have the ultimate advantage coming in, but the Undying is taken out by a Fire Strike, and at this point it's just going to snowball from there. Momo's taken out by Harasame, Yikes and Vader goes out. They're going to have to retreat. Peachy's going to get staggered again. And unfortunately, there's really no place to sort of environmental yourself, no place to yeet yourself off a cliff, so she is at the mercy of Ramen Renegade.
And that was just Peachy.
Oh my god, Tofu, this is not okay. You can't just do this. You're tearing this family apart, Tofu. Alright, but the grab bomb combo did not come out, and Apex Legends is continuing to come in with the ultimate advantage. They just cannot get picked off early on. Yikes with his shield up, keeping his team alive. They are going to start engaging. No grab bomb combo here. They're just going to blow out the bomb. But this is going to let them shatter. The Transcendence does come out to keep Ramen Renegade alive. Made Fun is going to eat Vader's grab. And they are going to grab in turn, but the bomb missed their grab entirely. So no combo, but they still do win the fight. Using a lot of ultimates here. Only 2 ultimates on the side of Apex Legends now, and Ramen Renegade is also going to only have 2 ultimates, both support ults. But they have been showing that they can really take some clean fights without ultimates and win them. So right now, Apex Legends is really going to have to sort of get it together.
Well, keep an eye on Vader's grabs. He's been getting them fairly quickly, and hopefully he can make more of it this time.
Yeah, and he's at 90 right now, so he should be able to, and the team generally does follow up really well on them. Vader about 95%, he's gonna have a grab soon, he's just gonna have to make sure it doesn't get eaten. Sound Barrier comes out for Harusame. The Earth Shatter comes out and stuns most of their team. Unfortunately, Apex Legends are going to lose this engagement once again.
Well, I think for Apex Legends, that's actually a really good play because they forced out both support ults from Ramen Renegades, and Vader's grab is coming up, so maybe they can make a huge play here as long as Mayfun doesn't eat that grab.
Yeah, agreed. And now we do have the grab bomb combo coming up on the side of Ramen Renegade as well. There is no bomb combo for Apex Legends, so they're really gonna have to follow up here, but with no support ults to help keep the team alive, that should be doable. We'll see who's able to engage first. Letters does go out, and so does grab for Carpe. No Diva Bomb used. Grab comes out for Ramen Renegade, and so does the bomb. Apex Legends is shattered though, although they should be able to win it. Momo is taken out, and this could potentially ruin their push. Carpe keeping him and J-Rod alive for now, but Carpe unfortunately is not able to keep him alive. Bomb comes out for Peachy. Now, Apex Legends is pushing this cart right now, but they still have a really long way to go before they can get off of the cart. So they're gonna have to be really, really careful about
Notice Harusame's positioning right here. This is a really cheeky play, and I think they're going for the huge boops, and they're almost got it.
Almost, that was huge. But the charge comes out for J-Rod. Able to follow up. Letters, Vader, and Yikes gets shattered, and Yikes is gonna go down on the ball. Another huge boop, almost takes some casualties with it. And Peachy is going to go down. Harusame getting some insane boops right now. Letters goes down too. Vader taken out. There goes Momo. They're still stalling out, but unfortunately it's not enough. Ramen Renegade stops them right before they're able to cap point 2 on Eichenwald.
Harusame with those cheeky boops. I don't know. I feel like that kind of swung it there.
Yeah, those boops were extremely huge. He almost got that one when he came behind, and he could have taken them out a lot quicker from that, but unfortunately they were able to recover. But he just kept going for it, and he largely remained uncontested, which isn't necessarily a knock on Apex Legends because there is just so much chaos in a GOATS fight. True. Especially one in the middle of overtime when they're trying not to get off of the cart.
Yeah,
so,
and also Lucio is just a speedy boy, so...
He is a speedy boy. He is very hard to kill. Sometimes you just have to kill the rest of his team before you can kill the speedy boy. So if we have a very, as input name is saying, some cheeky boops with the lads, when we have a cheeky Lucio like that, it can be really difficult to sort of deal with that. So Ramen Renegade only has to push the cart a little bit past point B. Or sorry, not point B, point 1, I guess. But it looks like we're going to... Alright, interesting. I don't know if they're going to stay with this attack. I think that they are going to switch to a pure GOATS.
Well, I sure hope they were... Oh no, they're swapping, but I
Torb, you cowards!
Keep that Torb.
Alright, but we might see a Sombra out from... I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce this like I'm supposed to with like pho versus foe, but they are going to be on the Sombra. This may just be for scouting purposes, as we saw with Apex Legends earlier, but it looks like they're behind. They're just chilling behind this team right now. I think that they may stay on it. They're like calling out the positioning right now in comms, letting them know where Apex Legends is holding.
They're running a full Sombra GOATS.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Now, since they do continue to scout, they're not getting that EMP up very quickly. Now they're starting to farm it a little bit, but that EMP is so important here. But Ramen is going to take out Letters, so they may just be able to snowball it from here even without the EMP, and they're already at 60%. obviously just farming the crap out of this. He's just going to be demeched and taken down. No staggers here. And they're going to cap that extremely quickly.
So if you noticed, Apex Legends was hiding inside of that that center building, and that gave up so much space. Whereas for Ramen, they're running Sombra Goats, so they're lacking some of that D.Va damage mitigation.
And it looks like she's just straight up farming back here. About to get their EMP. Yikes is going to go down, but it's going to be traded with J-Rod, so both teams are lacking their Rhine. But we have the EMP coming out on the side of Ramen Renegade now. And this is going to be huge, especially when we have heroes like D.Va, Zarya, even Brig that just absolutely get decimated if they're hacked. So assuming that we get a fat one here, this could be really bad news for Apex Legends. Looks like J-Rod is going deep into the team. Peachy's going to be demeched, but J-Rod is going to go down. Got a little cocky here. Got a little greedy.
Yeah, without the D.Va, I think going a little too deep like that is pretty dangerous for J-Rod, because there's not enough, again, damage mitigation, and with the Zen Goats, there's not enough healing to really go around, so...
Yeah, and we saw it with Harasame as well, sort of went into the team. Peachy is going to be taken out by Meifan though. This is going to be huge. Grab comes out, but unfortunately no follow-up. The Transcendence kept everybody alive. EMP comes out, and it is going to snowball from here. Everybody's health gets extremely low. Everybody's just going to be taken out really quickly with all of the hammer swinging and mace swinging coming from Ramen Renegade, and they are just going to push it in. Unsure if they are going to even be able to contest here. It's going to be really close. Looks like they're starting to group up a little bit. They may be able to touch. I don't know if they'll have enough speed. And no, oh, Yike is able to get a big charge, but they are going to just push it in anyway. Unfortunately, he goes a little too far and isn't able to contest. Muffin just made a pun that I'm not going to acknowledge publicly.
Play of the game.
So that is going to be 2-0 for Ramen Renegade and Apex Legends with that victory on Eichwald. This was that EMP follow-up right here. As a Sombra main, that's always beautiful to see. Having a team that actually follows up on your hacks and EMPs. 84% kill participation from Ramen today on the Brig. Some crazy numbers there. And what a match! I personally love Goats v Goats, but I know that others will disagree with me, and I may get flamed for that. But that was a really exciting match to watch, especially with the Sombra.
Well, if you noticed, it wasn't necessarily a Goats v Goats. It was pretty... There was a variety of heroes being played. You see the Mei coming out, you see, what was it, Baptiste, Sombra...
Pure Goats here.
Yeah, so there was a lot of counterplay that was going on in those matches, and it was really fun to see, especially since you can see how, I guess, Ramen comboed their ults, they played for that, and Apex just trying to adjust to it.
Alright, and next we are going to have Busan. This is an interesting map. I would like to think that we personally have the memeiest team with our quad DPS. But this could be a really interesting map here because it is potentially a very Goats heavy map. Some of the sort of subset maps themselves lend themselves very well to Goats, but you can also see things like the quad DPS or 222. There's a lot of variety that can be played here. I would love to see some quad DPS personally. I don't know how others feel about that. I'm sure that we would love to see some, I know Tentaku would love to see some Doomfist play here. So while we're waiting on our teams to be ready, what are some things that you're hoping to see on Busan today?
Torbjorn.
Torbjorn, all right.
probably not going to happen, but
No.
I know that Ramen Renegades has been running the Mei a lot. And as far as Busan goes, I don't really see where Mei can really come in and be a really impactful pick.
Yeah.
But there is potential for hit scan heroes to come out. So maybe I'm Kree, Soldier, or Widowmaker. And I'm totally down for some Widow 1v1s.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see those, especially since we know that Letters and Vader, very good DPS players here. The quad DPS is always super fun to watch, especially since you do get to see some exciting heroes like maybe a Genji or a Tracer, see a lot of hit scan. This map in particular may end up being a GOATS one, however. I know that the quad DPS can, or the triple DPS, or any DPS comp, honestly, could work pretty well. But it also is a little weird sightline-wise sometimes, so I've also seen a lot of GOATs here. I don't know if we're going to see, as Scoot says, the Bjorn or not. Oh, and Carpe DC'd.
Maybe he had an Overwatch League match.
Sorry, guys, I'll be right back. He's just going to go in and just kill everybody for a second, and then he's going to come back. They say it's connection issues, but we know the truth.
Yeah. We've got a really hard matchup against whatever team they're playing next week, and he had to scrim. That's all that was.
All right, well, hopefully we're going to see the Bjorn here, but I don't know if we will or not. But this map, we could see some good ball play here. It sounded so much worse. Okay, we could see some good wrecking ball play here.
Bet, please. This is a PG stream.
I'm doing my best, okay? We could see some really good wrecking ball play here. Obviously some good GOATs play, although I'm apparently not allowed to mention that without the chat wanting to kill me. We're getting some spam for the reverse sweep, and I know that I asked you what you wanted to see. What I would like to see is for Apex Legends to win this map so we can continue to get more maps and potentially a reverse sweep here. It looks like the curse of Team Disconnect, though, is their plague is spreading.
Maybe they actually have a Sombra, and they're just hacking our servers.
Okay,
like
they're ready.
hacking ours and hacking Blizzard servers, and they don't have their 6, actually.
Oh, they just said ready.
There they go. They have them. That was like last second. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh, this is a... Okay. Need a Burrito is with his spam. I'm not going to repeat it on air. That is unacceptable for a family environment.
It's a PG stream, please.
This is a PG stream. Alright, I lost my train of thought now. This is all chaotic. But it looks like we may have the Bjorn coming out from Carpe.
Oh.
You may have heard our prayers. They have a sim as well. Play sim, you cowards.
4,
Are they doing it?
2, 1.
Farah.
Oh, unfortunate.
Well,
Alright.
there's the Ashe and the Farah coming out, so maybe that'll be an interesting play.
And it looks like we do actually have a 3-2-1 comp coming from Apex Legends. Lots of DPS play here. We do have the Doomfist, so we know that's all we're going to see in these streams' perspective, thanks to Antaku. And it looks like we are going to have a 2-2-2 comp for Ramen Renegade. Mayfun is going to be taken out by Vader almost immediately. Yike is going to be slamming and able to deem that Carpe. Mayfun is taken back up. Carpe and Mayfun are taking out Momo and Ichi, so it looks like that although they have a strong start, Apex Legends are going to lose this first push. Letter's still trying to farm that EMP. They are going to have it for the next match. Udon spamming some rockets as I'm trying to get a good pick.
It's funny how Udon and Ramen kind of just stick together, you know, the noodle club.
There are quite a few noodles in this, in the Ramen Renegade, and I honestly really appreciate it. I like how they all have the theme going on. We're throwing by not having a team like that. Letters does have EMP here, so they are already coming in with some ult advantage. This could be very impactful, but they're going to have to get this EMP off. And here it comes. They are going to hack literally all of them. That is a 6-man EMP, absolutely huge. Carpe is going to be next to Tamago and Carpe go down. Ramen soon to follow. Harusame goes down. Meteor Strike comes out for Vader to get him supposedly out of their spawn, I guess. Mayfun is going to go down to Yikes. This is going to be a total team wipe. Letters with that absolutely clutch EMP. Although Meteor Strike was used and so were grenades, they are still coming in with some ultimates. They are going to have the Tire soon, the Transcendence, and the Coalescence. Right now, we are going to have both support ults on the side of Ramen Renegade. We are going to have both DPS ults as well. Looks like Carpe did just switch to the Sombra here. So no longer a 2-2-2.
I want to keep an eye out for Udon's Pharah, because if Udon is able to land those direct rocket hits, then that'll be huge.
Unfortunately, no value from the barrage. Tamago goes down, but so does Momo. Apex Legends still has control of this point right now. Yikes is going to take the bombs out. Ramen is going to be able to res Tamago, so this may be a lost fight for them, but Vader is able to take Ramen out. Yikes goes down. Letters continuing to contest on the Sombra, just getting as much percentage as possible, but this point is going to be flipped by Ramen Renegade. We can see that Apex Legends is doing a very good job with this higher DPS comp. This is a much more even matchup than we've been seeing before. Letters almost has their EMP here, and there's going to be a lot of follow-up with that Tire and Coalescence, and even the Meteor Strike coming up soon. Yikes did switch to that Winston, and he is diving and going right on point to contest. Ramen Renegade is going to have to contest here if they're going to prevent it from being flipped, but it just gets flipped with absolutely no contesting from Ramen Renegade. Tamago goes down by Vader. Vader pops that Meteor Strike, taking out Udon with it. We got a hit scan Doomfist over here. So not only are they going to be able to cap the point with absolutely no ultimate usage, they are able to get a lot of picks and make it so Ramen Renegade is going to have to recontest with one more fight. So
Well, the thing about this fight was that Vader has that one-shot potential.
yeah, and now Carpe does take out an EMP with 2 hacks. Yikes is going to go down, but Letters is going to take out Mayfun, although the Bob does actually do something here and is able to flip the point. But Apex Legends has a major ult advantage coming into this fight. They do have the EMP and they have the follow-up that they need. They have about 30 seconds in order to go and cap this. So as long as they're able to put together a clean fight here off of that EMP, they should be able to flip this point. But they can't get picked by that Pharah. Vader does swap off of the Doomfist to the Widow. Yikes does jump at the Pharah, trying to hit scan his way in, even though he's a Winston. The EMP does come out, taking out Tamago's shield. The Tire is taken out by Mayfun, and Mayfun takes out Peachy for it. Although Udon is down, Apex Legends have 2 down, so they're going to have to continue fighting, and this is overtime right now. Letters taken out, but the point does flip. Beat comes out for Ramen Renegade. Ramen Renegade taking out Momo and Vader. All that's left on the point is Yikes, but he's taken down by that barrage. Ramen Renegade is going to try to flip this point, but the Undying is on there contesting. Nobody heard his footsteps as he floats. They do flip this point, and Letters is not able to get back in time. So Ramen Renegade, after this hard-fought round, is going to take the first map.
That was a really close one, actually, towards the end, where Apex Legends did have an advantage going in with the ultimates, but Mayfun with the kill on the Junkrat Tire firstly, and then the follow-up kill onto the Junkrat, that really swung it, because that Tire would have really changed the numbers in their favor.
Yeah, my gosh, I can't breathe after that. So it looks like we're going to have a very similar composition coming out from both teams. We are going to have Carpe on the Zarya now, so we are going to have a 2-2-2 coming out for Ramen Renegade again. While we do have a 3-2-1 for Apex Legends.
There's also going to be a Widow. So Widow 1v1 going on.
Widow 1v1s. I am so excited. Let's see who the ultimate Widow is. It looks like Vader's going to be almost taken out, but he is going to get healed up by the Undying. And it looks like Ramen Renegade is going to be first to point here with very little follow-up to Yikes. He's going to be taken out by Harasame. It looks like Apex Legends is just going to kite back here, which I think is a good choice because they're able to regroup very quickly and they'll be able to recontest here. Yikes going on the ball instead of the Winston. We're going to have a Widow 1v1 here soon. Vader is poised to attack. Mayfun is sort of on the low ground here, but Harasame is going to take out the Vader. Interrupting this Widow 1v1. Apex Legends is kiting around to the back of the point to try to contest. Yikes sort of in the back distracting. But unfortunately his distraction did not actually do much. The rest of the team did not follow him. Sometimes you can see that the ball is able to kite back and sort of disrupt and get everybody to lose focus. Letters will take out Mayfun though, even though it is not a Widow 1v1 anymore, it is still a sniper duel and Letters seems to win. Vader is on the Tracer now and he takes out Ramen. So Apex Legends should be able to cap this, but Letters is taken out by Carpe, though Yikes responds by taking out Tamago. Undying goes down, so does Carpe. Apex Legends is able to flip the point with about 50% left for Ramen Renegade.
I have a hard time understanding why the Junkrat is the pick here. There's not much really for the Junkrat to do. It's maybe the spam at the initial choke, but there's so much high ground to be taken, and he's kind of a sitting duck.
Yeah, I would agree, especially since there really isn't, obviously Yike's taken out right here. There isn't really much for the Junkrat to do, and it's so easy to take him out as well. And they are going to cap the point here. Letters is going to put a dragon on the point, but nothing comes of it. The ultimates are coming out, even though this fight is already kind of lost, but Harasame drops the beat. Momo's going to be taken out by Tamago. So it looks like Ramen Renegade did cap here. Apex Legends did commit ults, even though this was already kind of a lost fight. So right now they are going to come in with the Tire. They're going to have the Zen ult, and they're going to have the Ball ult as well. But Ramen Renegade still has the ult advantage because they were able to cap this point just based on sort of pushing it alone. The mines are going to come out, able to establish some space for Apex Legends to walk in. High Noon comes out by Mayfun, able to take Peachy out, so they are not going to have the Tire to commit here. Undying does have Transcendence, which he does pop. They are going to go straight to that point. Harasame taken out by Letters, but unfortunately the Ramen Renegade still has numbers advantage here. Letters is going to be taken out. Ramen's gonna bring Unan back up, and this is going to be another one map for Ramen Renegade. And after this map, Ramen Renegade wins the series.
Wow, that sounded like a handful, or that's, yeah, it's a 3-0 from the Ramen Renegades. And to be fair, I think their DPS play was really strong here.
Yeah, their DPS play was extremely strong here. They did a really, really good job with being able to burst people down. So unfortunately, Apex Legends is going to lose this round. They, however, are not going to be completely out of the tournament yet. That is up to the Alaskan Anomalies, apparently. So they will be playing us at 9:00 p.m. tonight. Ramen Renegade is going to move on into the tournament. They are going to go against Team Disconnect later on. Alright, so that means that either Ramen Renegade or the Alaskan Anomaly is going to be eliminated tonight. And then Ramen Renegade has a chance to continue on and go through to the seeding pool with the teams that we already have established on this server. All right, so that was a crazy match. I still feel like I'm processing it. So why don't we just go through, let's talk about MVPs here. This is everybody's favorite time of the day. We could get some people in chat potentially nominating their own MVPs, see if we have any sort of consensus among our Twitch chat. And to answer the question that was posed in the chat, yes, this match is recorded. It will be placed in our video section, and we will be saving those VODs, so we will be able to throw those on our YouTube channel as well, so you will have this for posterity. All right, let's think MVPs. Do you have any clear winners?
I do.
All right, who is it?
Harasami. That Lucio play was both cheeky and poggers.
Very good way to put it.
They really were able to enable the team, right? They were applying that speed boost when they needed to engage, taking those wide flanks onto the back line when they needed to. And as you saw in Busan, really shutting down the Widow sightlines, really pushing the Widow off that high ground.
Yeah.
So I think Harasame really was the big factor in this.
Yeah, the Widow 1v1 being won by Lucio obviously shows that they were really popping off there. They did an extremely good job. That Iconwad play was just honestly really mind-blowing, and they did a really good job with managing their beat usage as well. Some of those beats were extremely clutch, especially when it was a potentially lost fight. So in terms of my MVP, I will have to go onto Apex Legends to pick my MVP. I feel like they need some recognition as well. I'm going to have my MVP be Letters. The fact that, one, they played Sombra. Obviously, this already gets them pretty good in my mind. They had some really clutch EMPs on that Sombra. They got all 6 of them in one of those, and that was able to win them the point on Busan. They were very close to winning that map on Busan. There were also just some really, really good plays that Letters was able to do, both on the Brig. I think he did a really good job enabling his team. And that Hanzo play was really good. He got a lot of really good picks. Unfortunately, there just wasn't always a follow-up to sort of show how important those picks were. But I think overall, on the side of Apex Legends, Letters did a pretty fantastic job. And although we see a 3-0 and we say that this is a very one-sided match, I do think that Apex Legends did put on a really, really good fight. They did a really fantastic job, and they were thrown some really crazy comps as well. Just overall, a lot of craziness. That bunker on Hanamura was just disgusting.
Oh man, that was that was a really interesting one. And Harusame is actually in the casting lobby if we want to bring him in for a interview.
All right, let's bring him in. We'll move him over. Hello.
Hello.
You are on the air. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pog Lucio plays. You're my MVP.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so I guess my first question is, how the hell did you guys come up with that bunker strategy on Hanamura? And did you think that it would be so, I guess, impactful and strong? Or was this an experiment?
Like, the way we thought about it is our teammate Udon, he came up with it just like on a whim in competitive play, and like it just worked. And like we tweaked it like here and there a little bit, because originally we had Zen before BAP came out. And like we kept tweaking it little by little, and like by the time we got to it now, like we got it down to like we know how to rotate, where to go, like everything like that. It was like all the credit for thinking up of that comp goes to him.
Yeah, it was obviously that was some craziness, and I liked how you sort of had the shield for all angles too. That made it really difficult to disrupt, and honestly a little disgusting. So when you were going into this, first of all, is this your first tournament that you guys have played in, or do you guys have a lot of experience with this sort of play?
This is not our first. I think it's like our second tournament.
Okay.
So yeah, we just kind of went in here trying to like just come do our best and have fun.
Oh, that's such a positive way of looking at it. I love it. No saltiness or craziness here.
Well, welcome to Watchpoint Alpha.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very much looking forward
Glad to be here.
kick some butt. Tofu, do you have any questions for Harusama here?
I want to play by play going into Eichenwald, that last defense where you were hiding behind their team as they were pushing towards the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking?
So basically, I was just like, all right, my team's kind of regrouping now because we lost that previous fight. And like, I was just thinking, because I didn't notice that they, at that point, I didn't notice that they switched to a Hammond. I thought they still had the Rhine going, so I was like, if I can get like a good boop on the Rhine and like maybe the Zarya too, then that'll like let us win that fight, and we can have the rest of my team that's regrouping just kind of like push in, and all at once we just kind of like take care of them all. So actually, I just kind of like tried staying up there, and then like I fell down almost on accident, but then I was like, you know, I'm not going to try to get up. This is probably like the better hiding spot. And then I just kind of waited for them to like rotate towards the bridge. And I tried to get the first boop off. I only got like one of them. And then like our team was able to like come in and clean up and all
and
that
then
jazz.
you got everyone else.
Yeah, that too.
Well, that was a really good play. That was funny to watch, actually.
So your next matchup is going to be against Team Disconnect, which I don't know if you watched them yesterday, but obviously a team that runs the DPS comps insanely well and also does have a pretty dang good goats. So when you're going into your next matchup, what do you guys think your sort of thought process is going to be, and what's going to be your strategy?
I think we're just gonna kind of go through, like, do things how we normally do them. Like, we'll talk with our coach and see kind of what things we have to fix for some of the maps, and just kind of go in with the same mentality. Just go in, try our best, and have fun.
I love it. All right, anything you want to say to our stream before we let you go?
I just want to say thanks for having us for the tournament. This is awesome. So much fun. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I love this guy. Right now. All right, well, thank you so much for coming in, not only as a player and also for coming in and interviewing with the best casters in the tournament. Really good job today, and I cannot wait to see you guys play in your next match.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we don't have anybody else in the casting lobby, so I guess open invitation to any of the players from either team if they want to come in for an interview. Probably give them like maybe a minute or so to get into the lobby before we shut the stream off if nobody's here. So I guess one question for you. So what do you think the sort of key takeaways from this matchup are? If we have any viewers in the audience that are watching this who are not necessarily on a team and are just trying to improve their gameplay, what do you think some takeaways from this match are that they should take?
I want to say team coordination. There were a lot of times where I want to say ultimates were kind of stacked. Like, I guess in Eichenwald, the Apex Legends used both trans, or not trans. They used beat into their Baptiste invincibility field, and they could have staggered that a little bit better. Maybe use the invincibility field first, and then once that gets broken, use the beat afterwards to try to maintain the team. But that all comes down to communication and knowing each other. So it's a process. This is something that you can kind of see between new teams and one that's been playing for a while. So just grind it out. Don't be discouraged by initial play.
I think that's a really good takeaway there as well. I know that it's really hard sometimes to not get discouraged when you see yourself in some negative situations, but obviously we saw a lot of turnarounds. All right, we do have Ramen and Udon in the casting lobby right now, so we will take, I guess, each of them in for a quick interview. If anybody on Apex Legends wants an interview as well, we could probably take one or two of you. Feel free to come into the casting lobby. All right.
Actually, we probably don't have enough time for that.
For all of them.
Well, no, Tentaku
Tentaku
is playing in the
kicking us off?
next. Yeah, he is playing in the next match, and he does need to warm up with his team. So
All right. They just
I do.
disappeared anyway. So
Yeah.
all right. Next time. All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for coming in. I'm sorry to those of you that wanted an interview. We will get you next time, I promise. Thank you everybody for coming and watching this matchup between Apex Legends and Ramen Renegade. To reiterate the score, we do have Ramen Renegade with 3 and Apex Legends with 0. So Ramen Renegade will be playing against Team Disconnect soon. And Apex Legends is not out of it yet. They will be playing against the Alaskan Anomalies tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Our next match is going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific. So do not miss it. Come back and hang out with us. Tofu and I will be casting again, and we know that we are your favorite casters, so you're going to want to come in just to see us. Any final words, Tofu, before we log off for today?
Well, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It was a really, really interesting match, and
that's one way to put it.
Look forward to the next ones, because those are going to be even more poggers than
even
these.
more poggers. I am so excited. And just as a reminder too, this tournament does go over 2 weekends. So we have a bunch of matches today and tomorrow, and then we are going to have more Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week. So be sure to tune in. Thank you all so much for coming and watching us. We will see you guys in about 2 hours at 6 p.m. Eastern. And y'all have a great day.
see, then see.